Over 80% of car buyers say brand reputation drives their decision. But what if the brand you trust is actually one of the worst? In today's video, I'm going to be ranking every major car brand from the bottom to the very top. And I'm going to be using real 2025 data from Consumer Reports, JD Power, and tens of thousands of drivers across North America. From reliability and resale value to repair costs and owner satisfaction, well, the results are pretty shocking, especially with one brand that went from near the top of the list to dead last. So do me a favor, stick around until the end, because you might just be surprised to see which automakers are secretly failing their loyal customers. So let's get straight into it with the bottom of the list. And at number 25, we have Fiat. Now, even though Fiat sold over 1 million cars globally last year, it continues to hold the lowest reliability scores in the US market. Consumer Reports lists it dead last for dependability, and JD Power ranks it far below average, with repeated complaints about engines, electrical faults, and constant breakdowns. Now, owners also report very high maintenance costs relative to the car's price, and the resale value collapses faster than almost any of its competitors. Is it cute? Maybe. Is it dependable? Not even close. At number 24, we have Jeep. Now, once a symbol of rugged off-road adventure, Jeep's reliability reputation has gone completely off the cliff. JD Power's 2025 Vehicle Dependability Study gives Jeep one of the worst scores in the industry, about 40 points below the segment average. Now, frequent issues include noisy cabins, rough rides, poor electronics, and constant check engine lights. The Wrangler remains iconic, but when half your owners complain about constant repairs, well, the trail might end sooner than you think. Sliding into number 23 is Dodge. Known for raw power and muscle cars like the Charger and the Challenger, Dodge has always nailed performance, but it's failed at longevity. Quality control remains its Achilles heel. Now, Consumer Reports ranks it near the bottom for reliability, with electronic glitches, engine stumbles, and very poor braking systems cited repeatedly. It's fast, it's loud, and it's exciting, right up until the repair bills start stacking up. In 22nd place sits Land Rover. Now, the name screams prestige and adventure, but the reliability screams, don't do it! Consumer Reports ranks Land Rover as one of the least dependable luxury brands of 2025, with an overall reliability score of under 50 out of 100. Now, JD Power's data shows 268 problems per 100 vehicles, and that's a staggering number when the industry average is 190. Common complaints include failing infotainment screens, air suspension faults, and electrical gremlins. So when you're spending six figures, well, you shouldn't be calling roadside assistance every single month. At number 21 is Maserati. Beautiful on the outside, heartache on the inside. Now, owners love the sound, but the reality is engine failures, brake issues, and failing sensors, and that's within the first 2 years of ownership. Now, with repair bills that average between $1,500 and $5,000 per incident, Maserati proves that luxury and reliability go rarely hand in hand. Style isn't everything when it's parked at the mechanic shop every day of the week. At number 20, Jaguar continues to struggle. Now, excuse me, once known for British elegance, the brand has slowly faded from US showrooms, and for good reason. Consumer Reports lists Jaguar near the bottom again in 2025 for reliability. JD Power confirms it's well below average. Now, the F-Pace remains its last survivor in America, but the cost of ownership is painful. The average annual repair bill is over $1,100, and that's almost double the national average. It's proof that sometimes beauty really is only skin deep. At number 19, Nissan is in serious trouble. Now, the Japanese automaker, once praised for bulletproof cars, has fallen hard. Years of cost-cutting and cheap materials have destroyed its reliability reputation. The CVT transmissions are notorious for early failure. Engine problems are rampant, and owner satisfaction has completely tanked. Only 2 out of 5 owners say they'd ever buy a Nissan again. And that's a devastating score for what used to be one of Japan's proudest brands. Coming in at number 18 is Kia. Once the comeback kid of the auto industry, Kia's reliability story has sadly hit a wall. After years of recalls for engine fires and stalling risks, 2025 data still shows Kia struggling with long-term dependability. More than 3 million vehicles have been recalled over the past decade due to engine issues, and Consumer Reports has reduced Kia's predicted reliability rating again this year. Stylish, yes. Safe bet? Sadly, not anymore. Number 17 goes to INFINITI, Nissan's luxury division. Now, on paper, it should be competing with Lexus and ACURA, but in reality, it's closer to Chrysler. J.D. Power ranks INFINITI far below average for reliability, and resale value drops nearly 45% in just 3 years. Transmission issues are common, electronics are buggy, and maintenance costs quickly erase any illusion of luxury. It's a brand in desperate need of reinvention. At number 16, we have Chevrolet, the definition of mixed results. See, on one hand, you've got the rock-solid Silverado 1500 and the surprisingly good Bolt EV, but on the other hand, you've got disasters like the Equinox, the Trax, and older cruises that seem allergic to reliability. J.D. Power gives Chevrolet a middle-of-the-road dependability rating, but Consumer Reports lists several of its models below the industry average. Now, when you're selling millions of vehicles, consistency is everything, and sadly, that's where Chevy falters. At number 15, we have Tesla, the tech innovator that changed the industry but still can't quite build a car without panel gaps. Now, the 2025 Consumer Reliability Report ranks Tesla near the middle, with constant complaints about misaligned panels, software glitches, and touchscreen failures. The Model 3 and Y have improved, but the dreaded Cybertruck recall for a stuck accelerator, well, it didn't help public confidence. Great performance, brilliant innovation, but average build quality keeps Tesla from climbing any higher. Now, at 14th place, we have Volkswagen. Again, forgive me. Once synonymous with reliability, the brand has struggled ever since Dieselgate. Now, the GTI and Golf remain drivers' favourites, but transmission issues, electrical failures, and poor long-term quality plague much of the lineup. Consumer Reports places Volkswagen near the bottom third of all car makers, while J.D. Power lists it as below average in overall dependability. But still, there's hope. Newer EV models like the ID4 are showing signs of improvement, and that's great news. At number 13 sits Ford, the all-American classic. Now, Ford is a love-hate brand. Trucks like the F-150 dominate sales charts, but reliability remains inconsistent. The 10-speed automatic transmission in newer models has been plagued with rough shifting, and past recalls for Focus and Fiesta dual clutch issues, well, they still haunt the brand. Yet Ford's Maverick Hybrid and the Bronco Sport continue to impress, earning solid reliability score. And because of that, Ford lands right in the middle, sometimes brilliant, sometimes broken. So breaking into the better half at number 12, we have Mazda. Quietly one of the most consistent brands in the business, Mazda's cars combine solid engineering with clean, minimalist designs. The CX-5 and the Mazda 3, well, they remain standout performers. Consumer Reports places Mazda comfortably above average in 2025, and JD Power lists it among the top 5 mass market brands for dependability. Minor infotainment issues aside, Mazda proves that simplicity and focus still matter. At number 11, it's Mercedes-Benz. Now, the three-pointed star still shines for luxury, but it fades fast in reliability. The 2025 JD Power data puts Mercedes just below average for dependability, and that's mainly due to high repair costs and electronic system failures. Models like the E-Class and the S-Class deliver unmatched comfort, but once the warranty expires, well, you better have deep pockets. Leasing a Mercedes is bliss. Owning one long-term, utter nightmare. So entering the top 10, ACURA still holds steady in 10th place. Honda's luxury arm combines strong reliability with respectable performance, though it does lack the prestige of European rivals. The MDX and the RDX deliver dependable family luxury, but Acura's infotainment system and interior design, well, they lag behind the competition. Still, with Honda engineering and lower maintenance costs, Acura remains a smart buy for long-term owners. At number 9, Hyundai. Now, this brand's evolution from budget beater to serious contender, well, it's one of the greatest automotive success stories. JD Power ranks Hyundai 8th overall in reliability, and its 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty continues to set the industry standard. Minor engine recalls have hurt perception, but Hyundai's SUVs and sedans remain some of the best value in the industry. Affordable, dependable, and impressively refined. So at number 8, we find Audi. Now, the Quattro all-wheel drive legend continues to impress with performance and design. And for the first time in years, reliability has improved significantly. Now, Audi ranks higher than both BMW and Mercedes in Consumer Reports, a major turnaround from the early 2000s. But complexity brings risks. Electrical glitches and sensor failures are still too common, and repair costs, well, they remain sky high. Leasing, fantastic. Long-term ownership, sorry, think twice. Now, number 7 belongs to BMW. Now, despite polarizing design choices, BMW continues to dominate in performance and driver satisfaction. Consumer Reports gives BMW one of the highest road test scores of 2025, but sadly, reliability still remains inconsistent. Cooling system failures and oil leaks are common, though newer models have improved significantly. Now, JD Power ranks BMW slightly above average overall, proving that behind those giant grills still beats the heart of an engineering powerhouse. At number 6, Porsche. Now, forgive me, somehow this performance brand keeps breaking the rules of physics and reliability. The 911, the Macan, and the Taycan all score amongst the highest in owner satisfaction. JD Power ranks Porsche in the top 3 for dependability, and it beats out every other luxury automaker, but the catch is cost. Now, maintenance is brutally expensive, and options pricing borders on absurd. Still, if you can afford it, well, Porsche represents near perfection. Cracking the top 5, Buick. Yes, Buick continues its quiet revolution. Once written off as a grandpa brand, Buick now ranks among the top 3 most dependable car makers in JD Power's 2025 study. The Enclave and the Encore GX deliver comfort, silence, and surprisingly good quality. But the biggest problem? Branding. The cars are great, but buyers under 50 still won't touch them. But underrated doesn't even begin to cover it. So number 4 is Honda, a brand that proves simplicity never goes out of style. The Civic, the Accord, and the CR-V, well, they remain some of the most durable cars ever built, with resale values that make accountants smile from face to face or ear to ear. Consumer Reports gives Honda high marks again this year, with minimal complaints about drivetrains or electronics. Even with a few hiccups in their small turbos, Honda's commitment to quality, well, it continues to shine. So sliding into third place is Lexus, the gold standard for luxury reliability. Now, J.D. Power's data shows Lexus once again leading the industry with just 140 problems per 100 vehicles. And that's a level of dependability that most brands can only dream about. The RX, the ES, and the NX models are legendary for comfort and longevity. Now, sure, some people call them boring, but when your biggest complaint is it never breaks, well, you're doing something right. In second place, bit of a surprise here, Subaru. Now, for the first time, Subaru tops Consumer Reports' overall reliability rankings this year, edging past Toyota. Its symmetrically all-wheel drive, its safety focus, and its conservative engineering, they've all paid off big time. The Outback and the Forester are practically cult cars for reliability. The only weak spots are noisy CVT transmissions and average fuel economy, but resale values remain through the roof. Subaru has totally earned its place near the top. So finally we get to number one, the king of consistency, and it's Toyota, the brand that rewrote the definition of reliability. The Corolla, the Camry, and the Tacoma continue to dominate long-term dependability studies year after year. Now, the consumer ranking reports show Toyota in the top three once again, and J.D. Power confirms its average problem rate is one of the lowest in history. So whether you want a hybrid Prius or a rugged 4Runner, well, Toyota is the brand that simply doesn't quit. You can call it predictable, but that's exactly what reliability should be. So there you've got it, the complete ranking of every major car brand from the worst to best for 2025. Some fell from grace, others climbed higher than anyone expected. So which brand shocked you the most? Do me a favor and drop your thoughts in the comments below. And just before you go, obviously it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game-changing video that affects your next car or SUV purchase. I promise you'll appreciate it. So in the meantime, have a wonderful day and I'll see you guys on the next one.